What's up, everybody? It's tilted kind of weird, but it's Michaela B coming with your tea with Michaela B for today. I just recorded a whole video and then I realized my edges were showing that I need to redo my hair, so I had to redo this thing and put a bandana on. You know, can't be on the internet looking 100% messed up. So anywho, I'll jump into some of your questions. Most of these are about like what I feel about certain things, so I'll jump in. The first question was what is it like the first day of the game? First day of the game is kind of interesting because you don't know what's going on. You get woken up early in the morning, it's dark outside, you get a pat down, and then they put you on boats. And then you go out and you're literally like, we were just going like this in the water for hours. So that first thing y'all see when the episode starts, episode 1 starts, and you saw, 2 boats and they're driving and bouncing and the camera's swirling around, like that's going on for hours. And they're doing it until they get the best shot. I don't know. But it was forever. Like, then the boat stopped and you think it's almost ready. It rained and then it stopped raining. It rained and stopped raining. We were getting wet. We were getting cold. And, I almost fell out the boat a couple times. I didn't know what the heck was going on. But when we saw them approaching land, we were like, yes. But you still can't talk. So you're like, so you do that. And literally the first time we get to talk is when Jeff says whatever he says. He's like, welcome, y'all. And then he hands out our buffs and we pull out our buff and then boom, that's how it starts. So it's a lot of emotions, a lot of things going on that day. And it's like it's like a nervous excitement because like, okay, something's happening. But then it's release because you finally get to talk and it's finally starting. But then it's like, but what are we doing though? So it's a kind of crazy thing. That's the first day of the game. How paranoid was I in Millennials versus Gen X? I would say I was not paranoid at all. I'm one of those people that kind of sit back and observe more than anything. And as y'all saw, I speak what I see a lot of the time because I'm just a blunt, straightforward person. Now, I would say, do I feel like that served me in Millennials versus Gen X? To an extent, yes, but no. I think it serves you, just looking at what happened in season 33, it almost seems like it serves you more to be paranoid. Because when you're paranoid, you hop around more. You create scenarios as opposed to letting scenarios happen, right? And the nice thing about creating scenarios, even if you're reacting to something that doesn't exist, you're pushing something into the game that makes the game go a certain direction. And typically, if you're pushing it, it's not going in a direction that's against you. So, I feel like the most paranoid people are the ones who made it pretty far in the game. Look at Hannah, look at Dave, look at Adam, So maybe that's a quality that helps because it keeps you on your toes as opposed to letting you sit back and think you're safe and then get blindsided right before the merge. Let's see. How did my relationship with God affect the way that I played? I would say more than anything, one, it gave me a sense of purpose because sometimes when you're dealing with heavy adversity, like being super lonely or being around people that you don't feel 100% connected to, or, going through something deep like a freaking cyclone sitting outside or starving or being around bugs all the time or smelling bad, which smelling bad hurt my morale so much. Go a week without taking a bath and see how much like the different parts around your body itch and smell. That I know cleanliness is not next to godliness, but it's just something about if you have respect for yourself, you don't walk around here stinking and you don't walk around here dirty, So that just, it was just killing me on the inside. But, having some type of purpose, feeling like, man, if I can make it to the end of this game, playing a certain way, like the way I want to play, that's going to be a good example to other people, but it's going to put a lot of resources in my hand, and I'm going to be able to do a lot of good with these resources, you know? So that's one thing. But then two, it also helps with giving myself a source of courage through fear. So I don't know, some people think I don't have fears. I do. I just don't talk about them. I just deal with them. When I feel afraid of something, I tend to make myself do it because I don't like being controlled by a fear. So, you know, for example, when we show up to a challenge and the challenge is in the middle of water and it requires running up something, jumping off, grabbing a floaty thing, and then swimming to a dock in water that's in the middle of the ocean that's deep, and then jumping up on a dock, like that type of stuff. I don't do that in regular life. I can swim, but I swim in pools. So the idea of jumping off of anything into the ocean is scary to me, but I do it anyway because I'm thinking, oh, I'm not meant to die jumping off of this thing. Or, you know, I'm meant to do something more in life, so this can't possibly be my time. Or when it's dark and it's a cyclone and it's scary and you're cold, you're thinking like, okay, you know, he'll never put on me more than I can bear. So it just allows me to, when I'm scared or something's happening, I can find some little bit of peace or some little bit of courage. And, you know, I can think that it's going to be all right. And typically it is. So that's that. Another question. Is it true that I wanted to target Michelle at the merge? It is 100% true. That was part of the seashell plan, that I should never have spoken aloud. But the reason for that, it was 100% strategic. I like Michelle. She was super cool in the game. She is super cool outside the game. However, everybody liked Michelle. Michelle was like everybody's number one friend, right? So there's nobody in that game who I had an advantage over Michelle with. Nobody. Which meant that if Michelle ever decided Michaela's not useful to me, I would 100% go home. Now, I found out, didn't need Michelle to send me home. But that was Michelle's power. The simple invoking of her name was like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was 100% strategic, though. But it's very true. Very true. She had a lot of friends. Now, do I like to drink tea? No, I like to sip my tea with my pinky up. Can you see my audition video? I would show it if I had it, but I haven't. I've had 2 new phones since I've auditioned for Survivor, so I don't have the video. But honestly, there's nothing special to it. I literally was just talking to the camera. Let's see. What happens when you get voted out pre-jury? You sit on Ponderosa until the pre-jury trip, and then they take you on a trip. So for Millennials versus Gen X, our pre-jury trip was to Australia. It was awesome. I'm super grateful for that experience. I had an amazing time. I still don't know how to access the pictures though. Let's see. Did I tell my family how I placed when I came home? Nope. I just said I'm going back to play again. And let's see. Is there anyone I wanted to get closer to or wish I would have had a chance to get closer to in the game? Yes, I wish I would have had a chance to get closer to Ken, honestly. He seems like a very intriguing person to me. He seems introverted. He seems very thoughtful, but he seems like the type of person that it takes a while to get to know him. So being able to sit on an island and just talk, I think that would have been the best time to be able to get to know Ken. But he lives somewhere like Colorado or something, and he's got a family and all these things, so the odds of me being able to get to know him now is slim. So yeah, he seems cool. So let's see, any other questions for this video? Ooh, we are 9 minutes 13 seconds. I think that's going to be the last question for this video, but thank you for continuing to submit your questions. We are only 2 months away from the premiere, so March 8th. I think I might have some watch parties or whatever this time. So I don't know. We'll figure that thing out. But thanks y'all so much for watching. I hope you have a happy rest of the day.